Well, hey, everyone. I'm Tia Knapp, and my friend over here is.
Dr. Michael Gross, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for giving your time. We got so many things to share with you. It's really, really great. But first, I want all of you to understand and know we have something exciting that we've done that we want to share with all of you. And that is our books.
we
I did this
obviously we don't plan this. We just kind of go with it. We wing it. Okay, guys. We
exactly.
always wing. There we go.
And the name of this book is Healing the Holes in Your Soul. It's by that lady over there, over there, over there. Well, you
I'm
don't
over
know.
here.
All right, hold on. She's over there.
And this
And
amazing book is by this amazing man, Dr. Michael Gross, who's over there.
there we go. We got a better picture of it. Thank you for your patience. This is a heroic story about a woman who was down and out and pulled herself up by the bootstraps and changed her life. Is going to make a difference with every woman, child, and man in this world. So I honor you. It's a beautiful work with all my heart. I want you to know it's an amazing story. It's very inspiring. And you need to read it. You will be inspired and realize she is truly the phoenix who rose from the ashes.
Well, thank you very much, kind sir. I really appreciate what you're saying. And I want to tell everyone one more time. Okay, first, thank you so much for sharing some time with us today. And that book over there that this kind gentleman is holding would not even be in existence if it wasn't for this book right here that I'm holding and for this wonderful man over here. Because had it not been for this book, I wouldn't have met Michael. And we have worked together now for a little over 2 years. And it's been the best 2 years of my life. What he's taught me, what he's shown me, the wisdom in the book, and all this other. It's nothing but a plethora of blessings. If you ever want abundance in your life, I highly recommend you start with this book because there's so many pieces of, I'll just say, golden nuggets. And on that note, I'm not going to go into it, but you know what? This is a must read, an absolute must read, because this is life changing. And I want to honor you and thank you so much for writing it. I know it wasn't something you originally planned on doing, but I'm so glad you wrote it. And I'm
Thank
so thrilled that I'm so thrilled that we came together and we're friends and we're working together on so many things. So on that note, I'm going to put this book down because I want to formally introduce you. How's that?
Well, everyone, thank you. And I want you to know it's been a joy to work with my sister from a past life. And so it's sister and brother having fun together. You know, what sisters and brothers do. We kind of pick on each other and have fun and call mom to straighten it out and say we're innocent. You guys remember that? Well, we have an interesting story to share with you today. All right, to you. I turn it over to you.
Alrighty. So on that note, what I'm going to do is Michael and I have done this for a little over a year, and what we do on right now they're Sunday at 2 o'clock, and we might change it. You know, we'd love some feedback on it. So if you guys are here and you're listening, let us know in the comments below if there's something a better time for you. If there's something that would be a better fit for a lot more people in your family, because Sundays are family days and we respect that. But we also have, we have a pretty, Michael has a real jam-packed schedule. So we try to bring this message to you every week. So we're looking for something a little bit better if that works for you guys as well. On
I
that
want
note,
to hold on. I'd like to throw out a couple of thoughts. So on Sunday, we do it at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're just wondering, excuse me, if 5 p.m. would work or 7 p.m. Or maybe another time. So we'd like to see the consensus and opinions, and we'll work with all of you. And I want to remind all of you that I want to do one of these programs asking all of you to forward any questions you'd like me to talk about or share any information because I believe it's really important. So think about that. and give us your feedback. All right, to you. Thank you for letting me share that. Go ahead.
Okay, absolutely. We put all our contact information in the comments below, and feel free to copy it. And also put your comments, and your questions in the comments below, because that's how we know exactly what you need. And remember too that no matter when we air this, it's recorded. It's always going to be up on Facebook on Michael's personal page and mine as well. And if anything ever changes, we'll let you know. So on that note, we don't have a script. We run by the seat of our britches, you could say. And the only scripted part I have is because I want to make sure that I acknowledge Michael for all the wisdom and experience he has. And this is what we do that is scripted. Okay, here's my little paper. Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he has been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with True Source, in concert with God, the True Source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble, knowing that the work he does all comes from God, the True Source. Michael currently lives in Lakewood, Washington, and he has just launched his nonprofit, and I'll let Michael share a little bit more about that.
Thank you. So I want to share, I got to get my finger right.
I know, I do too.
What a dream of mine. It came kind of in a vision and a meditation that I was asked to form a nonprofit. And I sat there, okay. So what I did was ask for a name, and I got the name of the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. So the name in itself tells you that we want to be and desire to be international. And it's all about self-empowerment. And I thought I'd share that I read somewhere between 83 and 86% of the population on this planet has very low self-esteem. Kind of interesting thought. And all of us have come to learn some semblance of self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem, or combinations of them. And then I said, okay, what am I to do this? And meanwhile, I began to put it together, and we went to the federal government, so I'm a 501(c)(3) IRS. And along the way, I was coaching and had the honor of coaching this beautiful woman, Tia, next to me. I realized she was my sister, and we were fraternal twins. And as time went by, I had encouraged her to write this book because she wasn't going to write this book. And after living vicariously through her experiences, I realized that the first goal, and there'll be multiple goals, is to assist, abuse women, children, and men. And that's so powerful, very powerful for all of us. And in doing so, as we worked together and found out that we can work in harmony, in other words, I say yes to her all the time and don't disagree, and how that works, I decided that she should be the director of abuse, which is a very powerful position within the nonprofit. You will be filling in more information. I know we've mentioned it before. We're getting closer and closer to our website, closer and closer. Our logo is already designed. Thank you to Tio. And that'll be out shortly. So please have patience with us. I really want to share that with you. So thank you. And thank you to you for inspiring all of us in your book of survival, of being reborn, but also inspiring me to do the work of the True Source, to have this nonprofit to assist abused women, children, and men. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'm at a point where I don't remember our topic. Uh-oh.
Blocks. Barriers.
Barriers. Okay. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm really sorry. We were working together earlier, and I think you know how he always floats. I think he took me with him. Okay, so the topic today is barriers. And I'm going to go ahead. Oops, I forgot to mute my phone. So sorry. But go ahead and take it away, Michael, and we'll try to keep it to, 30, 35 minutes, okay? Because we appreciate everybody's time.
No problem. I am going to mute my phone as well. Thank you for reminding me. Well, thank you, everyone, for giving up your valuable time. And I wanted to talk to you about barriers. And we probably will do several podcasts talking about barriers. But first, I'd like to talk to you about barriers. And barriers are how you feel about your life and whether you can be successful or not, be loved or unloved, uh, achieve anything in your life, find self worth, self love, self esteem, find consideration to be respected, desire a lifestyle that whatever you so desire, have a wonderful family, the love of your life, taking care of your parents, a whole myriad of different things. But in the barriers, I want to address it from the very beginning. And the barriers of our life, when eventually you come through the womb and through the birth tunnel, and then there you are, a little fetus, and now you're a little bit of baby, and you're absorbing a lot of things around you. What I want you all to understand, even though it's a baby, could be a minute old, a second old, or 6 or 8 months old, whatever you want to look at a baby, they are intelligent. And I talk about us all being energy, and the scientists, there's no argument there. We're made of atoms, particles, molecules, neutrinos, so on and so forth. But even more, we have the ability, even after we come through the womb as a baby from the fetus stage, we have an intelligence. We absorb everything. In my day, they were saying, you want the baby to be happy, play classical music. The baby will be very happy. Well, the baby, actually, the fetus can hear the sound after a certain period of time. And you know how sound, we all react to sound. So, like one of my favorite songs by Louis Armstrong, Oh, What a Wonderful World. I love this song. And Be Happy, there's another song. And there are many others. And there are love songs and songs that are inspirational. And Hallelujah, one of my other favorite songs. And there are other songs that kind of disturb our energy. Whatever they are, they form opinions. The opinions and thoughts form barriers or lower the barriers. And I want to address one of the most important things that we need to discuss, and that is when the mother is pregnant and now the fetus is beginning to grow. It has an intelligence and a life. Obviously, the cells have an intelligence and a life because you talk about the sperm, the zygote and the woman's egg, and they're very small, and all of a sudden this 8, 9, 10 pound baby comes out. Pretty incredible. So this intelligence forms the baby and has brain functions and so on and so forth. And as time goes by, every sound has a frequency and energy and vibration. So I go, darn, that's a lower vibration. Hi, happy birthday. I love you. You're beautiful. You can hear the different energies and thoughts, and that's what the fetus is able to pick up. Then eventually in the brain, it hears the words. So now here, go through the birth canal, and now you're a baby. What are the first words a child learns? No. No, 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 no. And you could say NO stands for no opportunity. And how much time do we spend in praising the child? Quite a bit, depends upon the family. And then after a while, I've watched the younger mothers today. They're very good with their children, but when they want to do something, the baby cries, needs to be fed, changed, or whatever, they get frustrated. Well, I got to tell you, the baby begins to pick that up. Now, it doesn't realize that you're a little frustrated. It sees it as rejection. And I'm sure most of you never looked at it that way. And it's most important. So, in my travels and my work with people, I remember I want to reiterate the story, and I've told it before, but this one woman had low self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. And she couldn't hang on to a job or relationship. And what I did was we regressed her and she went back into when she was in womb. She said, I hear these thoughts, these words. My mother said, I wish I never had this baby. And after she went to the birth canal, so she's 40, she did confront her mother and mother said, how did you know it? I never told anybody. You were just in my belly. And that tells us something. So this little baby grew into an adult, never felt accepted, felt insecure, unwanted, wished she never existed. And it became so buried deep in her subconscious, it formed a barrier to success in relationships, a barrier to success in having beautiful jobs, a barrier to success in achieving joy and happiness. What's behind that thought was, I'm no good. I'm not worthy. Nobody loves me. Even though her mother did love her and treat her well, but the seed was planted. That's a barrier in life. Therefore, I want to talk a little bit about the age of 8 and under. And talking about the age of 8 and under, you are their role model. I don't know if you're aware of that, but you are. Not only they learn from your words and your thoughts, but by your actions, by your facial features, by your energy, and just go unsaid words, but actions. And the child picks it up. Now, what happens is in our human consciousness, there's a picture that evolves in our subconscious mind. And this picture is really in living color. And it's like a video. And it's recorded deep within the subconscious. And from time to time, when a challenge comes up for that fetus or that child or the baby or whatever age they are, they reflect back on it over and over again. And that's so important for you to realize because you have, as an adult, whether you're the sister, brother, mother, father, grandparents, whatever you were, or educator, you have placed a barrier. Now, many times when this occurs, it's not done intentionally. But the problem with us, we no longer think about things. We just react instead of act. Like, your button is pushed, and this is the fight or flight or frozen syndrome. Well, you've all heard of the fight or flight, argumentative or run away. But not too many persons are aware of the frozen. It means you're stuck. Can't go left or right, north, south, east, or west. And you live in the same fear, same doubt over and over and over again. I don't know if you saw that movie Groundhog Day, where the same scenario played over and over and over again until he finally got it right. Well, there's a lot of hidden messages in that wonderful movie, even though some of it's humorous, because we repeat things over and over again. And the law of the universe, your soul says, well, you haven't got it right. We'll repeat it. And we'll keep repeating it until you got it right. Hello, you got it right? Nope, nope, we'll do it again. And each time it'll be more difficult. And then if you don't get it right in this lifetime, only partial, no problem. You get the round trip ticket. You come back and have to learn it all over again. Well, what you will do is you'll make it tougher so that your feet, figuratively speaking, will be held to the fire so you finally get it. These barriers that you learn at a very young age, from the time that your soul entered into the womb up into your current age, these formulated your life and your belief systems. But I want to go back to 8 years and younger. And therefore, everything that is happening, this child is like a blank canvas. And you and your relatives and those around you are designing and putting paintings, creations, drawings on this blank canvas. And this little child, with its wide open eyes, having no recollection or remembrance of his past lives, believe this is something new and everything is new. And therefore, this is how I'm going to behave because my mother said, my father said, my grandparents, my teachers, my educators, sisters, brothers, whatever. that becomes imprinted on your subconscious mind and forms your behavior. Yeah, go ahead to you.
I have a quick question on
Yeah,
that. Um, when it's imprinted in your mind like that, you, as a child, you don't even, you think that's normal,
yes,
right? You think that's normal. That's the way everybody's raised. That's the way everybody thinks, right?
correct.
And isn't it shocking to think that, um, for me, it took a long time before I had an opportunity to learn that what I was thinking wasn't actually normal at all. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just wanted to mention that because you don't know what else is out there if we've never been provided an opportunity to see both sides of the coin, right?
correct. You're right. You know, that Young Frankenstein is a hilarious little movie, but one of the characters were named Abby Normal. That was her name, Abby Normal. And I kind of laugh, but I'm using this analogy because what the child has learned is really abnormal. It's not normal. However, because we are always comparing the past with the present. I don't care whether you're 1 second old or 100,000 years old, whatever age you live, you're always comparing the past with the present. So you're reflecting about a past experience. And if it wasn't palatable, then what is happening is you're going to run away from it or you're not going to face it. But I said in a very short conversation, a little podcast that I had done, is what if failure meant success? I'm sure you've heard me mention that again. So we changed the definition of words. And in changing the definition of words, well, I failed. I learned something new. That's great. It's positive. It's wonderful. But the word failure has taken on a connotation and energy that is very low, takes away your vibrations, lower your vibrations, makes you think you're inadequate, and delivers low self worth, self love, and self esteem. Because I can never do anything right is the thought. I'm not successful. I'm a failure in life. Now, what the law says in the universe, remember, as you think, so you create. What you create, you experience. Therefore, inadvertently, you are repeating the same scenario over and over and over again. What the perception of failure for you is. It's like Groundhog Day. They played it over and over and over again till they got it right. And if you haven't seen the movie, everyone, it's very enlightening. Getting back to that thought and realizing that this young 8-year-old soul is impressionable and thinks on this blank canvas like an artist, whatever is told is absolutely the truth till they reach a certain age and they discern. And really, they really don't discern a lot until they're out of college and get out to the real life. And they don't discern about relationships so they get married and have children. There are exceptions to the rules, but that's what happens. What does that tell us? That our barriers or lack of barriers are formed by what we observe, think, hear, and are told. So here you are, an adult as a parent, and you did the best you can. And when you say no, no opportunity to a child, you were protecting the child. But at the same time, what was the inflection of your voice? No, no, it's okay. You shouldn't do that because this could break. Giving an explanation. Of course, in my day when I was growing up, I used to, well, how come? Because I said so. That was the answer I got. I said so. Some of us may relate to that. But the important thing is whether you agreed with your mom or dad or not, and it ticked you off, you at least went along with it. And you realized you had to walk the narrow path. In other words, you were told you will bring no shame upon this family. You'll do nothing wrong to this family. And that's really important. So, what we find in Facebook is every little thing that goes on. I got new chewing gum. I got a new dress. I got a new this, new car. Everything that's going on. Oh, I got sick with a sore throat or this, that. Who really gives a toot? This is like everyone who posts those things inadvertently. And I don't mean to hurt your feelings. You're like a soap opera. You want everybody to know what's going into your life. So the question is, And only you can answer that. Why is it important for everyone to know what's going on in your life? Why? And I remember a number of years ago, I had a client and her daughter posted that we're going to Disneyland all over Facebook for a week. And so she took her daughter to Disneyland. They came back. The grandmother's house was robbed and broken into because they knew nobody was going to be around. You don't think of that, do you? You don't think of what you're creating on the Facebook. It's really very thought provoking. And of course, all social media, newspapers, even you are. We're selective and we're opinionated in our thoughts. And if you don't think it is, think about you go to a restaurant. Boy, this restaurant's great. It's really you're singing the praise. You're opinionated, and that's good. Or I got a new Mercedes or a new Kia or a new Chevy. It's the greatest car, and so you're bragging about that because that's the human side. But at the same time, what we are doing is by telling the world what we are doing, you are letting them know the advertisers, the marketers, exactly what they should do and sell you and how to appeal to your Achilles heel. So the barriers you're placing up, they all started at a young age. And of course, they have at school show and tell. That could be kind of embarrassing for some people. My whole thought in this, and I see we're running down a little bit on time, is for us to realize, and we'll talk part 2 next week, and maybe part 3, we'll see, is that these barriers that were inadvertently created has controlled our life, not only from when the barrier started, whether it was from an hour old, up to your current age. And these barriers are limiting. And you know my motto, 2 mottos. You don't know where you're going, you cannot get lost. And I live up to that. And if you looked at my resume, did Michael do all those things? Yeah. Did I realize he did them? I never realized until someone read my resume and went, gosh, did I do all that? But each was a new experience. And then I had no barriers. You know why? You've heard this before. Because my mother told me all my life, Michael, you can do anything. Yeah, mom. It's my mom. You know what I mean? And then one day, about a year ago, maybe 6 months, realized, oh my gosh, she formed my life and removed a barrier because I could do anything. And the other one is you are unlimited. Therefore, I would like to thank all of you. Part 2 will be coming up in our next podcast. This is a point where we're running low on time. I see we're at 27 minutes and 50 seconds. And I'd like all of you to spend a moment to think about a couple of things. And one of them is that every Tuesday night, I have what is called a call-in. They're beginning to call it Michael's Angels. And I'm not sure about the name because it sounds laudatory. However, I will tell you at one point in my time, I had a gift shop in Kent, Washington. And my wife and I said, well, what do we want to call it? Michael's Angels. That's egotistical. No, that's what we're going to call it. You never argue with a woman. So therefore, we called that. And that's how it ended up being. And that's what the group that I spoke with wanted me to change that name. Not sure about it yet, but it goes from 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You call in, you ask questions. Hopefully, I can answer them. But I also would like you to know that I deliver a 10-minute message. And over a period of time, how many do I have? 210?
210, sir.
210 10 or 15-minute messages. So we're going to fill you in all the gaps on the information. To you, it's your turn. Thank you.
Absolutely, Michael. The Tuesday night call-in is at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the number is 202-926-1059, and the access code is
125446 pound.
He likes doing this part.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Okay, it's 202-926-1059. Access code.
And the access code is 125446 pound.
And the recording, should I give the recorded number 2 then?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. To access the recordings, they're available 24/7. And that number is 434 300 4170. Michael.
And the access code is 125446 pound.
I'll give that number one more time. And then just to be sure, I'll have everything in the comments as well. So that recording number is 434 300 4170. And the access
code is 125446 pound. I have fun. And then we do something else on the second Saturday of every month, like clockwork, from 9:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to approximately 11:01 Pacific Standard Time. We do a mass consciousness meditation. And this mass conscious meditation is all about not selling. It's all about sending healing to everyone on this planet, healing to everything that exists in the universe. Because we know this planet is in a chaotic state all over. And we cannot stick our heads in the sand and avoid life. Because everything you do, everything everyone else does, affects us. It affects us in our life, our health, mental, physical, spiritual, psyche. Every part of us, it affects us. So it is now time for all of us to realize that you can make a difference. And my goal is to get 1% of the population on this earth. That's 8.5 billion people or whatever it is. It's a lot of people. But you know what? When you get that 1%, the other 99% will follow, or most of them. So you are given that opportunity to make a difference because you are unlimited. And just remember, those people, those souls who took the time and the opportunity to create this wonderful country and to go against the King of England and to create this wonderful country, it took a few, and then it spread like wildfire and created this wonderful country with all the freedoms that we have. So please help me to turn this back into a Garden of Eden of love, to create more love. And one more thought on this subject, and that is there are only two energies on this planet, love and anything that is not of love. And nothing negative can live in the energy of love. But Tio, why don't you give them the number, please?
Absolutely. The number for the second Saturday every month event is 202 926 1059. And the access
code is 125446 pound. That's the number for the call in. Same identical number. You don't have to give it again because they've already heard it 4 times. They're going, I got it.
There is one more thing.
Sure.
There is one more thing I'd like to add. Michael, we have a couple minutes left. I'd love for you to go ahead and talk a little bit more about the nonprofit, please.
Thank you. As I explained earlier, the reason why we formed a nonprofit, and I say we because Spirit and all those that are assisting me, my board of directors. And I just would like to ask all of you if you could find the time and if it feels right. We're busy writing grants and we're looking for donations. Being a 501(c), you will have a tax write-off. And goodness knows we can use tax write-offs. And I want to encourage all of you to think about it. If it feels right, the information will be listed on the bottom. And our website will be up shortly, but you can contact me. My number is right there. And if you wish, you can email me or talk to me. Be glad to send you a letter of thanks. Our EIN number, which makes us legal with the IRS, is a 501(c), and you can write off the taxes. But no donations over 100 million. So we'll put that right there, 100 million will be max. So I
You're so
appreciate
sweet.
anything you can do, everybody. And that would be great. So understand the hugeness of this. When you look at abused women, children, and men, we'll take an abused woman, has no money, no place to leave. She's being controlled and manipulated. And what are the barriers that children are learning? What is their behavior going to be when they see what's happening to the mother and the way the father behaves? So what do you need to do? First of all, you got to get them to a safe harbor. That may require either airfare for them to get home to their family or putting them up in a hotel and making them invisible. And then finding a place for them to live. And then having counseling and having the understanding that they are worthy, that they are special, that they are divine, and teaching them about self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. Not only teaching them, but helping them to embrace it in their hearts so they believe it. And then how to educate them so that they can do whatever they so desire to be financially independent. This is a huge education for them, huge undertaking, and requires lots and lots and lots and lots of money. And just want you all to think about that, because the goal of the International Institute of Self-Empowerment is to make a difference. And how you make a difference is by helping us. Whether you want to volunteer to help us raise funds, give us a gift of funds, whatever. And if not, just talk about the Institute and what our mission and goal is. I'm fantastic, fine with that. Just remember that in this life, part of your epitaph is how you made a difference for your family, friends, relatives, but also how you made a difference in changing abused women, children, and men. By the way, we don't have a huge structure. We don't have lots and lots of expenses. We don't have any of that right now. So the money will go into the right places. But eventually, we'll be discussing how we can grow it, become international, and make a difference. Anyway, I want to thank you all for your attention, and I turn it over to you. Is there anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I think you've covered it very, very well today. I want to thank you, Michael, for everything you do for all of us, because, there are so many people that are suffering with low self-esteem. We were talking about that earlier. Statistically, I believe it's 86% of the global population. And abuse comes in so many different ways. It's not necessarily physically domestic violence, but it's a lot of different abuse. It's unkind words, it's unkind gestures, a lot of things. So if you're not feeling, respected, if there's something missing in your life, definitely connect with us. And on that note, I want to thank you for everybody taking the time to listen to this, because had it not been for this book and that man, I wouldn't be doing what I do. And I would not be passionate about pursuing my mission and goal, which is helping Michael pursue his. The nonprofit is part of it. It's a catalyst on where we can all help one another. Whether you want to donate some time or whatever, down the pipeline, the websites will be up. There'll be a lot going on. And we can't wait to share more with you, because it is happening. And I am so honored to be part of it, because we all need to have a purpose in life. And I found mine, thanks to Michael. Thank you so much. One more time, spiritual primer.
And I want to go holes ahead. In your soul. Pardon me for interrupting you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We don't have a script. We also don't have an audio technician. So every now and then we get little glitches, and that's the way we are. And that's why we want to let you guys all know that we're real. We're really, really real. Really, really real, right, Michael?
Absolutely, 100% real. We're not making this a broadcast to impress you. We're talking from our hearts and from our souls. And that's the way I really intend for the Institute to be, that everyone who's part of it talks from their heart and soul. We're not trying to impress anybody. We're trying to make changes. And we are the instrument of changes. And you, listening to us, are the instrument of change. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Invite your friends to join us every Sunday. And we'll keep it at 2:00 until we hear from you. And if there's any changes, we'll let y'all know.
So and you know what? I'll be here. You talked me into it. I'll be here at 2:00 on Sunday.
I thank everybody for your time. We really respect the fact that you're taking time out of your Sunday to be here with us. And thank you, Michael, for all the blessings and amazing things you share with us. You truly are one in a million. There are very, very few people like you. And I'm honored that you're my friend.
And thank you for opening my eyes to many things. I appreciate you.
Okay, brother, let's wrap this up.
All right, sis. Everyone, have a wonderful week. Remember, you are unlimited. Namaste.
Namaste.